Hello. A man wanted for questioning over the murder of George Barker outside a gym in Kent 2 years ago has been arrested in northern Cyprus. Charles Riddington is known to have used at least 14 different names and passports.
Well, a £10,000 reward's already been offered for information leading to his arrest over the stabbing outside a gym in Bexley village in November of 2016. Charles Riddington was actually arrested in the Turkish-controlled part of Cyprus yesterday on unrelated charges. Amanda Akass reports.
This is the moment Charles Riddington was arrested by police in northern Cyprus. Turkish media say he'd been living there using a fake Zambian passport in a false name. Back in January, the Metropolitan Police announced he was wanted in connection with the murder of 24-year-old George Barker in Bexley.
Well, I don't consider that character to be a person. To me, it's a monster. It's an animal. What he did to George was terrible. He's very dangerous. I think this is all a nightmare, a dream that I will wake up from. It's crazy, it's ridiculous, it's completely unbelievable.
George Barker was found outside the Double K gym on this private industrial estate in Bexley on the 14th of November 2016. A post-mortem showed he'd died from multiple stab wounds to the chest and abdomen. He'd just become a father for the very first time. His baby daughter was only 5 days old. At the time, the police said they believed 5 men had been inside the gym waiting for George Barker to arrive. But they later announced a £10,000 reward to find Charles Riddington. The case even featured on the BBC's Crime Watch Roadshow in June.
First up is Charles Riddington, but he uses more than 14 different names, including Barry Ryan and Jason Alley.
But Riddington's arrest in northern Cyprus isn't in connection with the murder. It's believed to be over-driving with counterfeit paperwork. For local MP Gareth Johnson, there are parallels with the case of George Lowe from Dartford. The 2 men accused of killing him in 2016 in the Greek part of Cyprus also fled to the Turkish-controlled north. They were arrested but were released without being extradited.
I welcome the fact that there's been an arrest now for one of the suspects of the murder of George Barker. But what we need now is for northern Cyprus to cooperate to ensure that that person is extradited to the United Kingdom so that we can get justice. We've got now 2 murders of local men where the people have fled to northern Cyprus, and it's time that we actually ensure that northern Cypriot authorities worked with the UK Foreign Office so that these people can face justice.
There has been a long history of fugitives from the UK and elsewhere running away and escaping in the northern part of Cyprus. Northern Cyprus is not recognized by international law. Therefore, countries have not signed treaties with authorities in the north, and that creates a vacuum.
The Metropolitan Police say they need to await the outcome of the police investigation in northern Cyprus, but they will work tirelessly for justice.
Well, Amanda's here now. And Amanda, how likely is it that he will be extradited back here to the UK?
Well, the expert on Cyprus we heard from there doesn't think it's terribly likely because the UK and the Turkish-controlled north of the island have no extradition treaty. It's a diplomatic minefield there in the case of George Lowe. Even though the suspects had been arrested, they were simply released despite the best efforts of the Foreign Office to negotiate. Now, there have been cases in the past where the UK government has been able to supply evidence to enable people to be tried in Cyprus. And the Metropolitan Police say their investigation is continuing and they will use all lawful and legitimate means to bring offenders to justice.
Thanks, Amanda.